Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there is having a good day. On today's video, we got some of the most mysterious videos you're going to see on this dark web. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Radcliffe, who was also interviewed by investigators, says images of crooks from that day in July show a physical transformation.
When I would see him from like elementary school to when I last seen him at college, he would always have like tight denim jeans, glasses, short hair, and then just to see him like that, like, oh my goodness.
And then
So I've been doing some research on this Thomas Crooks kid, and MK Ultra basically fucks up your thought process, fucks up your mind, and it basically just keeps you from doing everyday tasks and routine, which would include self-grooming and hygiene. And according to this guy who knew him since he was in elementary school, he looked different in his final moments. Physically, he just looked like he wasn't there. And you can tell just by this one picture right here. So, yeah, I think it's something we should pay attention to.
But the scariest, most traumatizing, if you want to call it that experience that I've had, I was laying in bed, and to this day, I'm clothes, uniforms they wore the long gun with the musket, or not musket, but it had a long, not sword, but knife, bayonet at the tip of it. And they were marching with the little cap hats down the stairs. I had never seen that uniform a day in my life, and I won't forget it. And the last guy walking into my room, yeah.
When I went to Poland, for the first time ever, I saw white people who were like full grown, like 50-year-old adults with basically no sun damage.
No, like white people really should not have left their natural habitat, but this video does just like remind me that we fail to consider the geography of the United States compared to Europe. And there's a whole bunch of problems with all of the different map projections we have, but I think this one at least helps me illustrate my point. I tried to illustrate it with some lines, but like one of the most northern parts of the United States, which is this top black line in Minnesota, like is on 49 latitude, and that's like in France. If you go further over in Europe, you're in Prague. Northernmost part of the United States is still more southern than like 50% of Europe. New York's latitude in Europe is Madrid, Spain. If you go over from one of the most southern parts of the United States, like let's just go Miami, for example, this bottom line, it's more equal to Africa. You could follow it all the way across and you're like in Cairo. Like Miami's latitude equal on the other side of the world is like the Sahara Desert. This middle black line, you go over from roughly Los Angeles, like southern Italy. All of this to say is more of the United States is more in line with northern Africa and southern Europe in terms of UV index, longer summers, shorter winters. The closer you are to the equator, the stronger the UV is. That also plays a role like with cloud coverage, like higher UV index. A lot of like northern Europe has longer winters and greater cloud coverage. That's why everyone in like England often summers in Italy, south of France, Greece, things like that. Most of Europe's population lives above what the equal of New York City is, around 40 degrees latitude, which would be Madrid, Spain. Most of the population lives north of that. So all of this to say, Americans are often exposed to more sun throughout the year than they are in Europe. Most Europeans go to sun for like certain seasons. Summer, they take long vacations, things like that, but that's really when they get most of their sun exposure, and especially their high UV sun exposure. And there's a lot of genes that are obviously very common in people with European descent. Like for instance, I have light eyes. I am not made for bright environments. I have to have the special UV film on my sunglasses. I need to be in sunglasses all of the time because like my eyes were just not intended to be like in this bright of environments. And so it is a great reminder, like this is not our land. People who are white have a melanin deficiency, which does provide its own set of natural protections from sun damage. Doesn't mean you're fully covered and protected forever, but it makes the risk of getting sun damage a lot higher when you do not have your body producing enough melanin.
There's been several popes, I mean, throughout history who've been talking about this, and I have even said that you really can't be a Catholic and be a Mason. Mm-hmm. They go completely against each other, and I think there's even an automatic excommunication at one point for doing it. But at the higher levels, and this isn't just Masons. I mean, like I mentioned, finance is the same way. If you look at the levels of finance, like in Switzerland and these Geneva at the banks that are doing banking for the banks,
the world banks. Yeah.
So they're moving,
some people say that's where the throne of Satan is, but that's a whole nother rabbit hole.
Listen, it wouldn't surprise me because that when you're dealing with that much money and influence, it's always influence, and money has influence. Then that's where he's going to put his eggs in that basket, because why would I pick on this idiot over here who has no influence? No, if I can bend, 10 million people to do my will through this guy, I'm going to go with this guy. And I've said this about many of these big pop stars, Taylor Swift started out as a country music girl, innocent little, writing about
tears on her guitar.
Yes, tears on her guitar. Now she'd be probably writing about the blood on her guitar. I mean, she's gone so dark. Yeah. And she, I think, has 100 million followers. Right. Of course, that's going to be somebody that they want on their team.
Well, she literally overtly, and you talked about this at the beginning, like the overtness now of the darkness, the courage or the brazenness, if you will. Like, I mean, she, as an example, was telling her followers that cast spells, and then literally on stage is doing mock
the coven
ritual stuff, right?
Like, what causes somebody in the music industry, like say a Taylor Swift, to make that switch to darkness? Like, what are talked about behind these closed doors? Are they guaranteed like power? Do they have like a 20-year plan? Like, if you do this, you're going to get this, you're going to get this, you're going to get this? Or what? Like, what causes somebody to go from that to that? Or is that just her way to get in, and then that's her true intentions? I don't know, y'all, but I couldn't imagine like going from this to like something super dark. Like, it's not in my morals. It just doesn't make sense.
Levels to it, like, man, I don't want to say nothing, but fuerza regida, for sure, like, had to sacrifice his daughter.
Okay, well, what if they put you in that same position for your family?
That's to a point.
But what if they put you in that same position?
There's humiliation point.
Yeah, right.
That's humiliation. That's the Diddy point.
Okay, but
so I'm gonna go before that. I'm gonna make it. There's like 3 levels. I'm gonna make it to the first level. Then from there, I'm gonna take it in my own hands.
What do you mean? What do you mean? The first
it's like artists that are popping like artists in LA like Chito, Soul to Soul.
Why do you say that though?
He mentioned it
in a song.
Yeah.
What do you say?
He sold his soul to Santa Muerte.
Oh yeah. I see that for Drex Joint's brother also be on that, praying to the.
I probably sold it too.
So how does this work? So say you want to do that, what you just pray to that?
I don't know, but I'll figure it out. But
I'll figure it out.
Hey, but I don't want.
This was on ChatGPT. Like,
I don't know if people know about this with Nike, but did you know if your Nikes have a plus sign on the bottom of them, like Nike Plus? I'm about to show you something. They have tracking devices in their shoes. Check this out. So look, it's usually in the left shoe, right? You get this undone.
Apologize, y'all. I'm starting to zoom out the clips so that you can see the full thing, and some clips just, I don't know what happens during downloading, they go back to normal size. So I apologize that it's super zoomed in over here.
Whenever you get inside the shoe, they have this in a slot right here, right? Now look, if you reach in it, grab it, it's a tracking device inside your Nike. And look, I'm gonna put it right back and show you that it fits.
Oh, that's why they're $200, huh?
Boom. I'm not sure if they do it to the right shoe, but this is like a deep secret of Nike. Kind of like how like those one shoes, yeah, they don't have it in this shoe. And they're both Nikes, but they're Nike Pluses. Kind of like that one shoe that has the upside down cross in their shoe. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what it's called. I think it's like Doc Martens or something.
Fix it, y'all.
Listen to me very carefully. This is breaking news that we have 8 confirmed deaths coming out of Florida of that flesh bacteria eating disease. We're also getting concerned information coming in Louisiana that they've already had 17 infections and 4 people have already died. The fact is that temperatures of water are rising everywhere, and this works like an incubator for this bacteria. It's also noted that raw oysters and other shellfish can be contaminated with this disease as well. Now, I want to read this to you because it's very important. Okay, the symptoms are very important. People who have skin infections often have high fevers, intense pain, swelling, and redness at the site of the infection, which usually occurs after an open wound is exposed in affected water. People who have eaten contaminated shellfish will have severe vomiting, diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration as well. If this disease enters the bloodstream, it can cause severe illness marked by fever, chills, septic shock, and blistering skin lesions, with about half of these bloodstream infections that are leading to be fatal. Now, as I read on to the article, it's not telling anybody that they should stop living their lives. But when it comes to the prevention of this infection, obviously what they're saying is that experts recommend against swimming in open bodies of water like the ocean, rivers, and estuaries if you have any open wounds. To prevent the food poisoning piece, avoid eating raw shellfish, especially if you are immune compromised or have chronic liver disease. And if you do eat shellfish, they're saying make sure it has not been sitting out for a long time and comes from a hygienic source. Look, at the end of the day, don't stop living your life. But I think making posts like this and informing everybody, making everybody aware of what's going on out there, especially when 8 people lost their lives, I think it was important to get this message out there. And that's all really I gotta say about this post. Again, just letting everybody know, if you've got open wounds, don't go swimming. And if you can avoid eating shellfish at the end of the day, if you can't get a confirmation that it's coming from a healthy source, well, then just pass on the shellfish for that day. Until that's all I gotta say about this post. Midnight, I'm out.
Could this be why Walmart recalled all that shrimp? It's kind of fishy, right? No pun intended.
2, 3. Woo!
So it's now the Jewish mob and the Italian
show.
mafia.
To be completely honest, I had no idea the difference between the mob and the mafia.
Dude, it's such a wild rabbit hole because no one does. The mob basically took over the mafia long before that. Like, Meyer Lansky is famous for creating the National Crime Syndicate. Murder Inc. involved. Meyer Lansky is the one that is famous for having photos of J. Edgar Hoover going fellatio on his boy. And so Meyer Lansky was the one that allegedly had control over the FBI to keep the FBI on a leash. The way I kind of look at it in the short form is one of them got a country. Like, one of them literally founded a country, Israel. And the other one is sort of like relegated to obscurity now in Hollywood movies. And, they're active in Sicily. They're still active in the United States too. But the mob took over an immense amount of power there. And I think that we all call them the mafia all the time, and we think of them as like the Italian mob mafia, but like the Jewish mobsters had a lot of power, and Jacob Rubenstein was a Jewish mob. Think about how many movies you've ever seen about Jewish mobsters. But we've seen hundreds of movies about the
Italians,
mafia. They're all about the Italian mafia, and a few about the Irish mafias. And Hollywood was very literally founded by a bunch of Jewish film producers that were being ostracized from the New York film spaces, because at the time, back in like the 1900s, the center of film was in New York, and they were all like, no, Jews can't fucking work here, we don't want you here, like, go away. And so all these Jewish film producers that wanted to make movies, they were like, well, okay, we'll just go found our own place, and they moved to California and founded Hollywood. And that's all. It's like all over Wikipedia. It's not secret history. That's not in any way controversial. LA to this day has the highest percentage of Jewish population of anywhere in the United States. Because it was the safe haven all of a sudden for Jewish people, because Hollywood was founded by them. And so they naturally, they have always been a major presence in Hollywood. And so it could just be a coincidence, but it's like glaringly obvious when you think about how many movies have been made about the Jewish mob and how many have been made about the Italian mafia. And most people don't realize that the Jewish mob had at least as much power as the mafia, if not more. So
it's kind of crazy that the Jewish mob runs Hollywood. I think still to this day, like the music industry, the movie industry, I mean, you get out of line with what they got to say, you're blackballed. And then the Irish or the Italian mob kind of did Vegas, the gambling, you know, the construction, trash, those types of things, which I think still got a big pull in that industry.
Let's talk about the most nostalgic and one trash talk shirts, y'all. You remember these from back in the day. Everybody had these on. These things had us in an absolute chokehold. If you were a hooper, if you were a baller, you were rocking these and one shirts that had slogans on the front of them that were wild. And luckily for you, we found a bunch of them for you. Let's get right to it, y'all. Go to church. Pray you don't guard me.
I like how they were like, look, we ain't paying nobody. We're not paying athletes, nothing. We're making a mannequin.
The no-face dude.
I love it, dude.
But this shirt's comedy. Look, they're at church, but they're all like praying to a basketball god back there. This one is like a sleep paralysis demon. It says, stop pinching yourself. This nightmare is real. The opponent in the bed all scared,
Shaking.
holding his covers.
And more.
Turn on the disposal. Your game is garbage, y'all.
And one.
Has a trash can with your game in it, man. Get your weak ass game out of here. This one is hilarious, diabolical, just straight up wild. It says me and your mama
Can't do that today.
both putting up huge numbers, and it has your mama on a scale pulling in at that 400, y'all.
And one.
She putting 400 on the scale, and if you look at his paper that he's reading,
Player goes for 50 again.
Again, call me the surgeon. I just took your heart.
Bro, they put a red beating heart on there.
Hope you brought lotion. You're about to get burned.
My God. I like how no matter what the idea somebody had, they were like, yep, run it.
Oh, that's right.
Run it.
Yeah, there was nobody telling them no.
That
Dudes,
sounds great. That's it.
I believe in recycling. I'm going to use you over and over.
And one.
Ass all on the neck. You get dunked on like that, you just got to leave. Give and go. Give up the game and go home.
And one.
With that trash ass game, take that bullshit home. Forget call waiting. I'm about to get busy, y'all.
That's some 90s shit.
I'm going to take two things. This game and your girl.
Bro, that's personal.
I'm taking two things, my guy. This game right here is mine and your girl. I'm the bus driver. I take everyone to school. He's got the steering wheel to the bus in his hand.
And one, man.
Yeah.
Saw a picture of your game on a milk carton.
Because it's missing.
Oh my God.
It's MIA. If you've seen this man's game, call the police.
It's on a milk carton.
Because he's looking for it. But there it is, y'all.
And one t-shirt.
The most nostalgic and one trash talk t-shirts.
I had someone that was coming up to my window in my house, you know, because like the house was structured to where it was like my parents' room was in the back, you know, like where the backyard is, and it's all fenced in. But then my sister and I's room was on the side of the house where there was no fence, and there was a lot of vegetation around my window, so someone could come up and hide in there and basically be there, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't, you know, it's kind of like a boogeyman type thing at first, right? Where it's like very scary that someone's in your window.
Somebody was in your window?
Yeah. It's called a peeping Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like right up on the window?
Right up on the window. Watching me for years. Breathing on the window. Like tapping the window. Like psychological warfare. Because I started staying in my closet and sleeping in there, you know, because I didn't want this guy to see me. It was very bothersome. And I told my parents, but they hadn't caught him yet, so they didn't believe it.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Could you imagine for years, you know, every night there being some creepy guy at your window just messing with you, tapping it, doing faces? Could you imagine that for years as a little kid? Like, that's traumatizing, y'all. That's crazy.
God, this is not a joke. This is actually we terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large.
At exactly 11:50 p.m. on April 30th, 2023, Las Vegas police officers witnessed something extraordinary. Their body cam captured a bright, glowing green spear of light tearing across the night sky. And only 40 minutes later, 16-year-old Angel Kenmore had called 911 from his family's backyard. His voice shook as he told dispatchers.
Okay, what's going on over there?
Okay, lady. Me, my dad, and my brother, we're working on a truck in our backyard, and we have a big lot outside, right? Correct?
Okay.
We were working, and we just see in a corner of our eye something fall down from the sky, and it was with light. And when it hit down, it was like a big impact, and we felt it. We felt like an energy, and then we hear like a lot of footsteps near us, and then we have a big equipment, and we see, and there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one beside it, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
When officers arrived, they took the call seriously because of the strange light they seen in the sky. One of the officers said,
"My partner said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious."
Multiple family members had backed up Angel's story, with his father, mother, and brother all confirming that they witnessed the same beings. Officers had searched the backyard, but the official body cam footage of this moment was redacted, removed due to privacy issues. And within days, the case was marked unfounded and quickly closed.
It's a red flag.
However, the family had footage and they would release it on YouTube a week after the incident, with many people analyzing it, claiming that an alien is actually visible in certain parts of the footage, right as the family walks out of the gate. In 2024, Scott Roeder, a crime scene reconstruction expert, analyzed the footage using motion tracking software and claimed that he identified 2 figures right outside the gate using what he believes is cloaking technology, appearing smoky and unclear to the camera. In the weeks that followed the actual encounter, the family claimed that they were harassed. They reported sightings of suspicious vehicles and men in black suits lurking near their property. Do you believe these were actually aliens? Comment your thoughts down below.
We were staying at this pastor's house. Leanna and I was getting ready to go to sleep, and I turned and looked, and there was a purple light the size of a quarter. And all of a sudden, it spoke a language that I knew what it was saying, but it was a language I've never heard before. It was just fury, and it said, "You're going to see your wife die." And he described how my wife was going to die, and he described what I was going to feel and how helpless I was going to be. And it was so horrible what he said. I don't want to repeat what he said, but it was bad. We were rebuking it. "Leave us alone, in Jesus' name, leave us alone." And we both just began to invite the presence of Jesus into the room. And then boom, it was gone. I see that there's a candle, and that pastor was up. And he said, "Is everything okay?" I said, "This regional entity told me I was trespassing and spoke to me." He said, "Did it tell you were going to see your wife die?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Did it tell you who's going to behead you?" I said, "Yeah." And this is what he said: "This is the spirit that comes when the Muslim rebels are close, and we need to pray." The next morning was in all the newspapers. They came within 2 miles of us. These rebels are not just, they are next level sorcerers and next level witchcraft involved in it.
Watch this.
You know the Jimi Hendrix story?
No.
So Jimi Hendrix, one of his bodyguards, or one of bodyguards, like someone who was involved with him, wrote a book. And the book was essentially alleging that Jimi Hendrix was killed by his manager, who was a mobster, because Jimi Hendrix was about to leave his manager. And what happens with a lot of these artists is whoever's controlling them might have ownership in their titles, might have ownership in their music. And if you think someone's going to leave and you kill them, like now you have all their music and you essentially can keep selling it forever. Especially someone like Hendrix. Like,
wow.
He's actually worth more to you dead
than alive.
Than if he leaves you and you're not making money from him anymore. He's worth more to you dead.
Okay, do you guys think this is actually true? Do you think that somebody else killed him or drugged him? Or do you think he overdosed himself? Now, Jimi Hendrix obviously was on a lot of drugs back then. Apparently LSD and heroin were like the main ones for him. And obviously you can see how that could kill him if he's overdosing and using all the time. So I don't know. I'm not smart enough. I haven't done enough research, but what do you guys think? What actually killed him?
Let's talk about Lady Gaga. Many people over the years, even fans of her, have alleged her involvement in the occult because of pictures like this, one-eye symbolism like this. Here we see it again, and again, and again. But a lawsuit years ago by Lady Gaga's personal assistant against none other but her is very eye-opening in multiple ways. So back in 2011, Lady Gaga's former assistant Jennifer O'Neill sued her, and these are all allegations, guys, keep that in mind, claiming she was forced to be on call 24/7, blah, blah. Basically, she felt that she was overworked and underpaid. She would also go on to state in her own words, I just think she was going through some very dark demons at the time. Fame can be very scary. But this is where it gets even crazier, guys. It was also alleged that during this time, Gaga reportedly believed she was possessed by a demon and turned to Deepak Chopra for help, saying something along the lines of, the devil's trying to take me, I'm a good girl. And this poster says, I'll never forget this, and I honestly thought she was referring to the, It is also alleged at the time that Lady Gaga was describing terrifying dreams, insomnia, and feeling spiritually invaded. Mind you, this is the same Lady Gaga, hello, who's palling around with this lady. The same Lady Gaga who made a song titled Abracadabra, hello. Hollywood is a weird and crazy place, man. Wake up.
The CEO of Rock Nation is once again in the news. She was also known as a federal informant from back in the day. She was like a drug mule, and she told on her drug boss and got him locked up, and then proceeded to work for Rock Nation after that, which is weird. I feel like she was hired by the CIA or hired by the FBI, one of those alphabet boys, to work in the music industry. Because did you hear that her daughter is now coming out and saying she basically tried to get her hemmed up for a disagreement that her husband had with her, and now she's like trying to get her husband locked up. And
didn't she say that she tried to commit her to like a psychiatric ward?
That's what it was.
Yeah, and I think I saw footage to where there's a doctor who pulls up, and this is on the camera footage of the police, and she says, I don't know that doctor. Who is this? And he's like trying to commit her. He's like, yeah, here's your meds. We got to take you in. She's like, I've never seen you before, which is very common in the industry because they have handlers. This is what happened with Kanye.
Britney Spears.
All these people who have these trainers and these doctors who are really assets to the government, even with Kanye's guy. So he is from Canada, but it turns out that he worked for the Canadian government.
We need to talk about him more because that dude followed Kanye to Dubai. I was talking to Vori. Vori's a good friend of mine. He writes for Kanye West. He told me, yeah, it was real. This guy was following us. And that's the guy, the notorious message where he told Kanye, look, if you don't do this, I'm gonna send you back to zombie land and sedate you.
Crazy. That's a crazy bar too.
That's insane, bro.
I send you back to zombie land?
And then playtime with kids won't ever be the same. Like, bro, what?
Yeah, he was talking crazy.
That's some CIA like psyop shit.
Right.
You know, kind of off subject, but you know, it's a damn shame that these rappers, let's just say Jay-Z, preaches, you know, never snitching, never doing this. If you do, you're this, that. You know how many people listen to that and believe it and throw their life away? And then behind closed doors, this guy's hiring a known informant to run his business. Like, it's a damn shame, y'all, how these musicians lead you to darkness. You know, maybe, you know, just playing devil's advocate, maybe if they live that and they're really living that, okay, maybe. But for you to lead a generation to darkness when you hire what you say never do, you hire that to run your company, it's a damn shame, y'all. I'm glad I'm awake, y'all. I was asleep for a while. Now I'm happy being a square. You know what I mean? Now I'm proud of it. Before I used to hate it, but now, man, I'm proud of it.
The longest living humans had high cholesterol levels.
That's right. That's what the Sweden study found, for example. The paper just published a year or so ago. What were some of the most consistent themes? They had good glucose control and high cholesterol.
I keep slipping in this chair.
I'm a great defender of cholesterol.
I need a new chair.
It is a molecule of life. And it's so much depends on it. Mitochondria, for example. Mitochondria have to have a cholesterol molecule in them in order to work. Like the very powerhouse of the cell. And the more you lower cholesterol through, say, drug interventions, the more you compromise the mitochondria. The sex hormones, all sex hormones are built on cholesterol. It's no surprise if someone takes a cholesterol-lowering medication, their sex hormones go down. This is why some men experience such terrible loss of libido, because he's becoming low testosterone because of the war on cholesterol.
But there's good and bad cholesterol, right?
Well, that's, as the story goes, yes, and yet I think that's overly simplified, where people will say LDL cholesterol is the bad cholesterol,
It's probably
and
good.
yet that gets included in these studies of longevity. So I think the good and bad aspect of it is not entirely fair or accurate. We need LDL. And LDL is just as much a component of the immune system. LDL actually helps the body fight infections. So it's also an unsung hero of immunity.
There is research suggesting that in very old age, high cholesterol levels do not always correlate with higher mortality. And in some studies may even be linked to longer life.
Exactly.
We were starting a documentary on Roblox. Roblox is like a video game within a video game, and you can create your own realities and your own scenarios and your own games, essentially. But it's something where you can communicate with a lot of different people. And there's a currency called Robux. And apparently what some of these bad adults are doing is giving Robux to these kids and asking them to do different things. How does that thought ever even come into the mind of a normal human being? Oh, I'm just going to get on a video game today. After work, I'm going to find a kid who's vulnerable, maybe in a single parent household, and I'm going to find out if they've got siblings. And I'm going to convince them slowly by giving them a reward to go do something that they would never think of doing on their own. And a lot was made a few weeks ago when Roblox said it was coming out with age verification. The age verification is only good if somebody's under 13 trying to get on, because 13 is acceptable. 13 is the sweet spot for predators to exploit children.
Now, this is one.
You know, it's kind of, you know, any time a kid's game and you allow them to chat, it's just a recipe for disaster. You know, if you allow kids to chat online with other people, it's a recipe for disaster, and we're seeing it play, you know, right now.
Demonic stories I've ever heard. Check it out.
This is back when I was a patrol officer before I went up to the gang unit. There was an apartment complex where the caller on the first floor called 911 for a physical disturbance for the floor above, and said they could hear a man and woman yelling. We get there, I knock on the door, and I hear this deep voice. I was like, Fayetteville police, open up. And it's like, get the F out of here. We don't want you here. And I was like, oh, well, sorry, we're here. And then I hear, help. So we took a step back, kicked the door in. As soon as the door came open, there was a female that was standing right in front of the door. So we grabbed her, pulled her back, gave her back to the third officer, and then myself and the secondary officer. This dude's in here or he's jumped out, right? So we clear, nothing. So go back out. I'm like, all right, let me talk with her. As I'm talking to her, I'm getting her information. She's cut real bad. EMS comes, they wrap her up, and I'm asking her, hey man, what happened? Like, who's in the apartment with you? And she's like, nobody's in the apartment. I'm like, look, I get you're trying to protect your man here. I'm just thinking it's just a battered wife who doesn't want their husband going to jail. And she looks up at me. She's like, what are you going to do, Samuel? And Samuel's my first name. But Samuel's not on my badge. It's not on my shirt. It's not on paper. Anything that I did paperwork-wise was Blake. There's only one person that calls me Sam and Samuel, and that's my...
I fell down a rabbit hole of the people who run the world, the 13 richest families, if not more. And honestly, I'm not even sure that those are the actual families, because most of the time, the people who run the world will never know. The true people who hold the most power, because they say power is silent, are people that we will never even have the ability to know their names, to know anything about them, because they're probably trillionaires. Am I the only one who thinks like this? When I look at the rabbit holes of money, when I look into like the Vatican, when I look into true money and power, it is silent, it is subtle. You might walk past, I mean, probably not, because you might not be in the same territories, but walking past people that you have no idea how much money, how much power that they hold. And we're not just talking about the Cargill Mulligans. We're not just talking about the Rothschilds. We're not just talking about the Rockefellers. We're talking about the people that may even be above them, people who run all of the banks, people who own all of the media. We're not just talking about the Larry Finks. We're talking about literally the people that they may even potentially answer to, the people who control. It's because when I see these names, when I see this list, yeah, these are people have, amassed much success. It's absolutely commendable, I guess, if you're looking at it in the material, the financial aspect. But this is not true power. Feels like I'm watching a Scandal episode, but this is not true power. These people all still might have to get a check cut from somebody, no matter how much they own. True power is the people that control all of these people, because essentially some of these people could still get canceled. True power, the people who run the world behind closed doors, that know the secrets, that go to the places that we don't even know exist, those people, we don't even know their names. they move around in a way that we couldn't even fathom if we wanted to. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, save this video. Go look into, let's say like the Saudis, the people who really hold the most wealth in the world. Come back, let me know what you found. Per usual, this is all alleged. Can't confirm or deny the facts, but I implore you to do your research. Like, follow, stay for some more.
The Saudis got so much damn power that they changed the name of the country to Saudi Arabia. I guess it used to just be called Arabia. But they said, no, we got money. We got oil. This is Saudi Arabia. That's crazy.
You have adrenaline in your body. I'll just simplify it. And when you are scared, you produce adrenaline. If a knows he's going to die, his body will secrete the adrenaline. It's the worst horror I've ever seen. Is screaming alone, even if I never ever saw it. It's beyond, and these people that do it, there'll be no mercy for them.
Man, what is this, man?
How can we afford an $80,000 house? Very simple. Over 30 years, just a trifle down payment, and a pittance of a mortgage, and 2 living parents with a pen. Who can sign?
So that clip was from Boy Meets World, and that episode aired in 1999, and I couldn't help myself, so I had to run the numbers. The show took place in Philly, and I saw that the median house price was around $80,000 in 1999. Now, Corey and Topanga were high school students without a job, so they couldn't qualify, but what about the median household income back then? It's $40,000, which is about $3,300 a month, and a 3% down payment on the median house was only $2,400. So somebody in Philly in 1999 didn't even have to save 1 month's income to put a down payment on this house, and the interest rates were around 7%, just like they are today. So with principal, interest, property taxes, insurance, and private mortgage insurance, the total payment was $750 a month to get the median house in Philly, and you're making $3,300, so that's about what, 25%? So a family making 40 grand could take care of their entire mortgage in just 1 week. And then I wanted to see, well, let's just see what happened to the prices in Philadelphia, because we know the averages around the country, but let's look at Philly. $80,000 was the median price in 1999. It's now $250,000, so below the average for the nation, but the income was $40,000 for the median household. Now it's $60,000. So the housing price, even in Philly, went up over 200% in the last 25 years, but the income only went up 53%. So even in smaller cities, metro cities, no matter where we look, I don't think I have found a city in America where the housing and income was even close to keeping up.
Everybody who I've ever seen has died with a terrifying, scared look. Never one of peace or anything. No, it's always been scared. It's terrifying. I don't know if it's because of the pain. My belief, I think they see something. That's what it looks like. Whatever they see is not here. They look past you when they're dying. I've watched a guy die in my hands. Not an enemy guy, but one of our guys. Helped carry a dead body out. It's a look of, I don't know, the unknown maybe. Going somewhere that, I don't know. It looks scary to me. It looks scary. And it could be if your life isn't right at that moment, that's the look. And I don't think any of us ever get it right. So, and I also have a belief that we all have to go to the underworld when we die. A place like Earth is a big test to get to the next place. And there, it's hell, fire. And in the military, we say you need to be baptized by fire.
The gold juice. So I was offered the gold juice 3 times in my 20s, my 30s, and my 40s.
Pee? A lot of golden showers in
The
Burbank.
gold juice that I will live forever and I'll have whatever I want. The gold juice. You never offered the gold juice?
No, I'm a scumbag comic. What's the gold juice?
I don't know, but I didn't drink it, and I didn't.
These comedians are so annoying now. Like, that's always their excuse. I'm a comic. I don't know. I'm a comic. I used to like comedy, y'all. Now it's just, I ain't even a fan of comedy no more. I watch the old school comedy shows.
And
is this
I noticed when all the girls, certain girls on Orange, changed. Yeah, it's a real thing. It's like a real thing. Like, it's all a real thing. And it's scary because they send, like, people after you and they can, like, kind of moonlight as, like, a friend or, you know, and they're wolf in sheep's clothing. And listen.
You're talking to one probably right now.
You can have everything you want, all the fame in the world, all the money. I'm like, what if I just drank it? But then you know what I mean? Like, what if I, and I don't know what it is. If it's a metaphor for the gold juice, like, you feel what I'm saying?
Mostly.
And
if there's a tincture that makes you younger, I better know where. You better let me in on this. If adrenochrome's real, I'll be first in line.
you don't drink the gold juice. So I was offered the gold juice 3 times in my 20s, my 30s, and
What's
my
that?
40s.
Pee? A lot of golden showers.
Yeah, that's weird.
It took us 5 years to get Sound of Freedom off the ground.
What were the main things that were stopping you?
Well, right in the beginning, Fox International was part of the filming in Colombia, and so they had the international marketing rights on it. Disney bought out Fox. They would not do distribution at all. It had all these stupid excuses of it won't do well, the people won't like whatever. So then, finally, we were able to buy that out from them. That took a long time.
So Disney, the company that is known for children movies, was like, yeah, no, we don't want this to really go anywhere.
Go company that brings us Pinocchio and Peter Pan. So
Yeah.
go down those rabbit
Yeah.
holes and find out what the real twist on
Yeah.
Pinocchio and on Peter Pan and others. And so yeah, it was Disney. We finally were able to get it out from Disney. And then another former Disney executive says, oh, now those guys, they just didn't know what they're doing, whatever else. He tied it up for another year. Finally, we got that out. Now we're like, okay, let's go out. We went to Amazon. We went to Netflix. Netflix turns us down. Now, Netflix at the same time was bringing the TV series Cuties. These are 10-year-olds dressed up as strippers, yet they turned down Sound of Freedom. Are you kidding me?
Look, you said that none of the artists on Death Row came to visit Tupac while he was in the hospital.
None of them. And it make me sick to hear them say that, oh, they were there.
So I go in the room with him.
Look at him.
Laid up. And I just get right on the side of his head and just start talking to him in his ear. Just talking to him.
If Snoop's going around saying he went to the hospital and had a conversation with Pac, that is a flat-out lie. Snoop and Tupac was not on great terms. Every person went to go visit Pac. It's pictures. It's footage. No matter who went, he did not talk to Pac. He didn't have a conversation with Pac.
When I went there,
It's so crazy, y'all. Like, just like Snoop Dogg, a generation, y'all. Like, think about it. He misled a generation. Look at him. He's right here. He was always lying in his interviews, but like, how passionate was he talking about that he sat there and talked to a man while he was dying? And he knows people know that ain't true, but he don't care because he's getting this out and he's gonna make some money. Like, that is just so crazy to me.
I know he couldn't hear me, but my spirit was talking to him. What's up, my nigga? What's happening? I was talking to his spirit. I want to apologize for making you mad the other day.
We put out 2 unreleased
Crazy.
Tupac albums. Why you don't have a verse on none of those songs? Because that's a big deal. If you love the man like you say you do. You've been treating that man like an outsider. Make me a believer. I wish it's not true that you didn't have, your hands weren't involved with the assassination of Tupac.
Like, I really think I'm not gonna say he was okay with it. Maybe he was involved. I mean, Crips did it. He's a Crip, right? So there's that tie. But he wasn't happy that Tupac was taking over him. He brought him over. Snoop was on top of the world, brought him over to death row. He went past Snoop, and he didn't like that. Jealousy, y'all. Jealousy, money.
An actor born with the greatest porn name ever.
Did we go through 3.5 billion years of evolution and being shaped by our environment? And here we are after 3.5 billion years, and we can't stay around for more than about 75 years, and everything around us can kill us. Like, if I think about, now again, country boy logic here, if I think a 3.5 billion year long process of an organism being shaped by its environment, I would like to hope it would produce something a little better
well, I
than
think
what we are today.
What it's produced is pretty fucking extraordinary in comparison to all the other animals.
Oh, you sons of guns, I knew it. I knew that these mountains were actually petrified colossal trees. Look at the wood structure here. We know that this is wood. And then have a look at the side of this mountain. It is wood, guys. It is petrified wood. I mean, look at this. Buddy literally goes to a side of a mountain and just starts peeling the wood away. Look at how massive this is. It's all wood on the side of this mountain. It's so obvious. It's right in front of you guys. Now, wood doesn't just rot, it can mineralize. Have you ever seen the petrified forest of Arizona? Absolutely incredible. Massive trees that have been petrified and turned into crystal. And these massive petrified trees can be found all over our world. This is what the Bible told us. This is what our ancestors told us, that we used to live in a much bigger realm. And I want you to ask yourself this. Does this truly look like a mountain to you? Or does it look like a tree stump with a flat top? All of these huge mountains with flat tops used to be colossal trees, petrified trees from a very long time ago. They came down, they cut them all. You could see the column-like structures turned into stone. This is a petrified stump. Trees. They're all trees, guys. The fact that we already have human-size petrified forests like in Arizona proves that these are massive, colossal tree stumps. The evidence is right in front of you guys. We used to live in a much bigger realm. Now, petrification can happen a lot faster than we have been told. When ash, pressure, and floods hit all at once, think about all these cataclysmic events that have been whispered and echoed throughout all of our ancient past. Petrification can happen very fast, guys. And what you're looking at right now is exactly that. Every single culture speaks of the giants, the Nephilim, the Titans, the Yontar, whether it's giant beings, giant architecture, giant trees. It's all over our ancient history, and the evidence is right in front of your face. You just need the eyes to see. I mean, like, come on.
Damn.
The obvious evidence is right there, guys. It's right in front of you. My question is, who cut all of these trees down and why? What happened to our ancient past? And why was all of this so obviously hidden from us? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and make sure to like, share, and follow for more hidden truth. Peace and love.
He's like, do I need to take out another tree? A boy and his dog. I tell you what. Hey, baby.
People who live in Arizona are saying they've never seen anything quite like this. And the timing of it definitely strikes some concerns. A viewer and resident of Arizona for 35 years says he has never seen it even close to this bad. People who are trying to fit in with groupthink are sitting there saying it happens every year, but they're not even noticing the severity of this time and just how bad it got. The straight darkness across cities, visibility zero. But there is a little bit more to this story. Let me show you. So yesterday I unraveled what Burning Man really was. You can go back and watch the video. And how somehow disaster always seems to strike Burning Man. Of course, the dust storm came at the same time that everyone was getting there. But guess what was happening also at the same exact time? A massive drop in the US dollar that I don't believe we have ever even seen. It's almost prophetic in a way. You know, I showed you this orange juice, less than a gallon. That was $8 a couple days ago on Facebook. New pestilence, plagues, and viruses, and parasitic infections everywhere. The drop of the dollar, famine, inflation. There's a mightily powerful parallel brewing right in front of us. People don't retain severity. They retain complacency. Happens every year. Some can't see the signs. Can you?
Is the CIA working with the cartels?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, short answer is yes.
They are.
Yeah, man. Not only the CIA, also, I guess every other agency in the U.S. or every three-lettered agency in the U.S.
DEA, CIA, yeah.
FBI. You know, like most of those guys are collaborating with narcos, not only in Mexico but all through Latin America, man. And I mean, they're not. It's not like they're like smuggling drugs themselves, but it's like they're breaking deals.
Yeah, we see it on TV all the time.
Narco. The drug traffickers in Mexico, the issue has gotten so big right now that it is easily, it's very easy to unstabilize a country through el narco, through violence, through drug trafficking, and all of that shit. And I know for a fact that some of these narcos, they don't even know they're being played by U.S. agencies to destabilize the Mexican government or Mexican forces,
So what specifically is the U.S.'s involvement with these cartels? Like, you told me to watch that documentary on Amazon Prime, I think it's called The Last Narc.
The Last Narc.
Who was the guy's name? It was the Mexican DEA agent who was basically murdered by a couple.
If you shop at Walmart, you might want to listen to this. So there are some rumors circulating on the internet and on social media. All Walmart locations going to shift from LED and fluorescent bulbs, overhead where you shop, to bulbs that are 10,000 Kelvin. So 10,000 Kelvin is the highest luminosity of a bulb. It gives off kind of a bluish glow that you really can't see. It appears bright white. So what does this mean for you? Well, as if shopping at Walmart wasn't stressful enough, blue light messes with your physiology. And blue light is also emitted from all of your electronic devices. Notice that there's an uptick of blue light blocking glasses. It messes with your sleep cycle, messes with your vision, can give you headaches. And the other fun thing that 10,000 Kelvin can do is initiate a fight or flight response within your body. Like I said, as if Walmart wasn't stressful enough. The thing with all these rumors on the internet is that sometimes people regurgitate the rumor without fact-checking. So I did a little digging today, and I can't find any evidence that Walmart is going to shift these lights out. So if one fine day you find yourself in a Walmart, a complete fit of rage takes over, outside the normal Walmart rage, don't look up.
Zelensky might have needed to hear that. Man, we've given you enough. After all we've given you, there's no way you're going to win the war. You can't even get guys off. You're kidnapping people off the street to go fight that don't even want to fight. You have no manpower. You're not going to win the war. Money's not going to win this thing for you. It's not. Supplying more weapons is not going to win it for you. I can give you 1 million guns, but if you only have one guy, it doesn't matter. We've already given you billions. Either you're going to fight the war, lose it, I don't know, but that's how wars are fought. Just because you're in war, you can't say, oh, wait a minute now, I don't want to die. Surrender. I don't really care. I don't like his whole personality. He comes across as this, always, can I have some more, please? You're kidnapping young kids off the street to go do your dirty work so you can play dress up and make it look like you're going through a hard time. Let's be honest. We all know about the yacht. We know your pockets are deep.
Are you a vegan? I'm a vegan. My real belief is in raw living food. We talk a lot about you getting your protein or you getting your carbs or whatever. The most important component of the food are the enzymes. The enzymatic activities, your eyes blinking, your heart beating, those are enzymatic activities. If it wasn't for enzymes, we couldn't do them. Like, enzymes are highly important. Anything you cook over 118 degrees for a minute, you destroy the enzymes and most of the nutritional value of the food. And that's why I'm a believer in raw living food.
People don't realize those heads have bodies. So you've got these statues that are, 80 tons or whatever. So either there's 1,000 of them on the island. So either they dug these holes and dropped in a giant statue and then filled it in, or the statues were there and then the earth came over and filled on top of it. I don't know. I'm not, there's a lot of mud flood conspiracy theorists. I'm not one of those. But if those statues are really old, the earth has changed quite a bit in that time. I don't know why they're buried. Nobody does. And at one point, Easter Island had 25,000 people living on it. It's a whole society. And it's only, a few square miles, tiny little tribe.
So Halloween is the devil's holy day. That's his day. People get angry with me. They say, Father, it's just kids putting on costumes, trick-or-treating. No, not really, because you're really participating in his day. And why would you want to participate in anything that's giving glory to the devil? I had a couple of families in the last parish leave the school, withdrew from the school because we didn't have Halloween in the school. And I'm like, this is your this is your hill you're going to die on, is Halloween. Like, you're not going to do well in what's coming in the future if this is your big thing.
Mm-hmm.
They left. In New York City, where I'm from, there was an exorcist there when I was on Wall Street. After my conversion, I met with him. His name was Father James Labar, God rest his soul, pioneer exorcist of our day. And he told me that Halloween's the most dangerous season of the year for the homeless. And I'm like, well, why is that? Are they eating bad candy? What's going on here? He's like, no. They have these vans that come around and they tell the homeless they're going to take them to a shelter. They've got whole big meals set up for them and showers, and they can wash their clothes and all this. And a lot of them get in the vans and go. And then they tie them up and they hold them for the 31st. And then they sacrifice them on the evening of Halloween to the devil. And it's like a perfect crime because nobody's looking for them.
Wow.
You know, it trips me out the past few years how Halloween is like people just put demonic things in their yard and it's a trip. When I decorate for fall. Put some pumpkins, you know, maybe the worst thing, maybe some scarecrows, friendly looking scarecrows, but a lot of pumpkins and fall leaves, you know, hay bales, things like that. I'm a fall decorator. But there's people out here, especially where I'm at, man, they go all out. They go all out, and their yard is full of La Llorona, of, you know, just crazy thing. The Nun, like their yards are full of that. I'll show you guys. I'll make some TikToks driving around my neighborhood when it's Halloween season. It's a trip, y'all.
Allah Kubala. Iliswe. I am the inferior mistress, and I also play as a surrogate for the queen. I am also the bondwoman of the king, which means I do not have the formal title of a wife, but he is my husband, and we are a tribe.
My baddie, teacher bay neighbor. Miss Williams. Pose. She's so pretty.
The great, like she knows what she's doing wearing that. She know what she's doing. She know we be looking, right? On Friday. That's out of high school, y'all. Like that's asking for trouble. That's just asking for it.
So spooky, so creepy. A tree made between President Dwight Eisenhower with aliens.
Yeah, okay.
The theory is there's two different types of aliens that came to meet with Eisenhower. One were what they call the Nordics, tall, pale, beautiful looking human-like aliens, long blonde hair. And they offered Eisenhower speed up the technology. There wouldn't be any more diseases, all this different stuff, and like world peace, clean energy in exchange for disarming your nuclear warheads.
Oh, that seems
Getting rid of
reasonable.
them, you would think. Then after that, these other aliens appeared, and they were the Greys. And they offered, we'll give you advancements in technology, weaponry. You'll be the #1 powerhouse in the world. In exchange, you let us experiment on humans. And that's what they ended up agreeing with. It all sounds
like
super
somebody
weird.
used their imagination.
Yeah, well, the crazy thing is with Eisenhower, it was actually reported in the newspaper President Eisenhower died because he was missing for a couple of days. But what happened, they're saying that he was actually at this Air Force Base meeting, but the cover story was that he had a chipped tooth and had emergency dental work. But there's no records of him going to the dentist or getting this dental work.
Something big is happening in the UK right now. In recent weeks, England flags have been popping up all over the country. And while that might seem uncontroversial, a country flying its own flag, in the UK, it's kind of rare. And it sparked a heated debate of whether it's racist to fly the England flag or not. It's been dubbed Operation Raise the Flag, and they've started appearing pretty much anywhere a flag can be hung. Lampposts, bridges, over highways, and it's even being painted on crossings and roundabouts. People who support this operation often argue that raising the flag is about being able to be proud of traditional British identity, which they argue has been suppressed in the country in recent years. Others, however, say that when they look at this flag, they see white supremacy, and it being hung up everywhere is like a reminder that they should go back to their country. It's to the point where some argue that if the country wants a flag that isn't seen as oppressive and instead represents a modern-day Britain, they should change the flag. And this situation only got more controversial when reports started coming out that some local governments started removing these flags, citing safety reasons. So there's one side that say the England flag represents pride in British identity and history, while the other side say that much of British history is marked by oppression and that the flag serves as a reminding symbol. So while it might seem like just an argument about a flag, in reality it's a fight over what will be the identity of modern-day Britain. So the question is, what do you guys think?
You made a comment about how you was one of the few rappers that never sold their soul. What made you say that?
Because I know majority of these rappers. Yeah. I know what be going on behind the scenes. I know who not really in control. You know what I mean? I know the real. You know, a lot of times people be blinded by what they see in these videos and on TV, but I just know. I know what I know, man. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that ain't being righteous and they ain't keeping it infinity, because keeping it 100 ain't enough. That's a limit. You go with me, you got to keep it infinity. So it's just a lot of people, man, that's just, you know, selling their soul and selling themselves short and distracted with the wrong things. So, you know, it is what it is, man. This industry is a very evil industry. You know what I mean? Like it's very evil, man. So you got to really surround yourself with people that think like you or bigger than you. So it's a nice amount of, I ain't gonna even say nice. There's a lot of rappers that sold their soul, and you know, they let money dictate everything they do. They value money more than they value humans. I ain't participating in no bullshit. If it ain't righteous, I don't want to be a part of it, man. I'm not gonna snake my people and
mislead them.
Yeah, I ain't gonna snake my people, and yeah, I can't sell my people out, and I ain't gonna sell myself out. Fame ain't that important, man, for me to just do anything. It's cool. I'm used to the attention.
Yeah, that's crazy for me to hear you say that, man. So rappers is really out here selling their soul for success. That's a real thing.
For sure. Yeah. Behind the scenes selling their soul or snaking somebody who deserves opportunity. You know?
And have you ever been approached to do anything out of pocket?
I've been approached to have somebody come to my house and pray. And yeah, like, hey man, this guy, yeah, he's like he gets spirits out, and you know, he wants to come and pray. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I want to continue to pray the way I've been praying. I don't know who he believe in and what he believe in, but he can't come in my house. So yeah, peace. I kept God in what I got going on. I kept God. I keep God in what I got going on. I don't love money. I talk for myself. I come from a family that programmed me and trained me to be out in this world and out in the streets and knowing how to maneuver. So you can't lure me with no money or nothing.
See, it's the fame that people want, because you can get money and be straight. It's the fame. It's the fame that people will do anything for. Certain people, they want to be famous. They want, I don't know, maybe they're just, there's, you know, we all know those people that just loved attention, love to be the center of attention, love to be the life of the party. Like those type of people will do whatever to be famous. No thanks.
Jalisco, and they have a roundabout there in Jalisco. It's Los Desaparecidos, where the missing are, and it's covered in posters of missing people in Guadalajara. It is like one of those zombie movies where they have all these all the missing people posters on them because zombie outbreak happened. It's like that, except it's people. Over 100,000 according to official numbers in Mexico as far as missing. Just gone. And that's another aspect of this war that people don't kind of like realize. The numbers are skewed, you know, because there's no confirmed dead person for a number of the amount of people murdered if there's no body. And Mexico has become very good at getting rid of bodies. The cultures in Mexico. I was in Coahuila, working with a tactical group out there. They showed me. I mean, I'm always learning from people. Different regions have different ways of getting rid of bodies. You know, some just burn them, just throw fuel on them to see if they can burn. In this part of the country, Coahuila, which is on the east side of the country, they will heat up fuel drums with diesel inside of them, and diesel can get really hot without igniting, and that's where they put the bodies inside. Basically, boil them down to their essential essence, and there's nothing to find, is what they tell me with that process. You go to my hometown of Tijuana, that's where we had
boiling cauldrons of diesel to dispose bodies.
Yeah. And then you go to Tijuana, where I'm from, and then you got the phenomenon of a pozolero who would get rid of people with caustic soda, just a mixture of chemicals that you could find at a hardware store, and they would make people into pink slurry and just dump the pink slurry in a hole and just cover it up. So the numbers that we see as far as dead and missing, it's not a real number. It has to be bigger. You know, it is a place where you'll go into some towns and there's just a bunch of old men and females because all the men were gone. You know, or you'll see like these abandoned graves in some place. I talked to a lady who's a part of some of these. There's these organizations all over the country right now. They're grassroots organizations that are basically just dedicated to finding clandestine body disposal places. They're looking for their family members, basically.
It's a different world, y'all. It's a different world. Be thankful for the little things, you know what I mean? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you made it this far, y'all know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I want to give a shout out to, you know, some of the members. We got a couple of tier 2 members, right? We got Nurse Becky, Missy Karika, and then on tier 1, we got my boy Mark Denari. Just always want to give you guys shout outs. I appreciate you guys. Anybody want to join, link will be down below. You guys are going to get early access to my videos. Tier 2, you guys get some different perks. It's all listed right there, what's involved. I need to get better at, you know, doing more and doing these things, and Segovia will, I promise you that. And I'll leave a link down below if you guys want to join the membership. If not, it's all good, y'all. It's all good. But, you know, I appreciate the support. But, man, I woke up at 3:45 today, fed the baby. I'm saying, you know what? I'm going to get this video done because today's baby day. So I'm done for the day. Just got to later on today when he takes a nap. I'll probably take a nap with him. His first nap, and then maybe on his second nap come in here and react for my second channel. Links down below. Go check me out over there, y'all. We do some true crime, you know, things that go viral, and we react to stuff like that. But remember, y'all, over there, don't bring this mindset over there, right? Sometimes I might get into some celebrity gossip that's viral, or, you know, something crazy in the sports industry. Don't bring this mindset over here. Over there, I'm doing it different, y'all, because to tell you the truth, I'm trying to get a new audience over there, because honestly, I appreciate everybody from here that went over there, but over here we got like 23 subscribers. Over there we got like 1,200 subscribers. You know what I mean? So it's not like everyone over here went over there. So over there, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do something a little different over there. So I got a comment over there saying like, we don't care about sports or anything to do with sports. Like, don't bring this mindset over there, y'all. We're doing something different. I'm trying to get a new wave going over there, get a new audience, and just grow even more, y'all. So if you want to go over there and support, you know, go over there, subscribe, check out the videos. But if you like this mindset and all this over here, you know, stay over here, y'all. But Segovia's got a big, strong, different way of thinking mind, and I dibble dabble in everything, y'all. But anyways, y'all, I got to get out of here. Got to get this video edited, uploaded for the members, and you know, get ready to watch this baby. He's been cranky, y'all. He's starting to teeth are starting to pop out, so he's getting a little cranky. So Segovia gets a little stressed over here, y'all. So make sure you guys show some love. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next one. Later.